Hey there is a lot going on right now, and that's to say the least. Whether it's you or someone you know who's gotten sick recently, or you're worried about finances at the moment, or you're having struggles in your relationships at this time, or whether just some old buttons are getting pushed that are stirring up some pain. There are 4 questions that we should be asking ourselves every day that can help us stay aligned with what we know is what's best for us and get into a better place and even at times flourish. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Stay tuned. If you're new here, then my name is Dr. Elisha Goldstein. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm the founder of the Mindful Living Collective and also of a breakthrough program that is called a Mental Health Accelerator that supports us in regaining a control of our minds and our lives so we can focus more on what matters and ultimately enjoy life more. If you're interested in learning more, being a part of that program, you can click on the link in the description below. Okay, so with the constant buzz of this, which I think we can all relate to, and with a family that I want to be there for and support, and for a community and many clients that I have to support as well, and books I'm writing, and taking care of my physical fitness and my mental health. A lot of people ask sometimes, like, how do you juggle all of that? How do you do that? And the answer is in these 4 questions we're about to go over. So the first thing from the beginning, the first thing we have to understand, the very first question is, what do we want? What's the outcome we're looking for? So for me, I know in these last couple of years, the first thing that I noticed was that when my stress rose, when I started taking care of my body, that really helped me mediate my stress. So I made it an outcome I wanted to get in the best shape of my life, or at least in really good shape, physical shape, where I'm getting stronger and I feel like my body's more fluid. And that's going to help me handle all the stress that really has come in the last couple of years. And so that was one thing. I knew what I wanted. Now for you, it might also be you know that more loving connection in your relationships is really important to you. And you know that getting a handle on feeling confident and knowledgeable around your finances, or maybe making progress in the business that you're in. It could be really anything, maybe with your food that you're eating, moving towards a healthier diet. What's the outcome you're looking for? If you were there in 6 months, what would it look like for you? And so being able to draw out that vision and understand what you want is really important. So now I'll give you a little extra step here, that when you do draw out that vision for yourself, be in the best shape of your life, feel more connected in your relationships, feel mentally like confident that no matter what comes my way, I can be okay. Or feel like I'm making progress, or I'm making progress in my work and the revenue I'm producing, whatever it is for you. And it could be a number of those things, could be all of those things really. So we want to be able to realize, like, what is our what? And so then we can be able to boil it down to today, I see that these things are important to me. So these are these overarching what's. But today, what's the outcome I'm looking for? At the end of the day, what will I be happy having done? If I look back, if there's progress on a couple things for myself, whether it's exercise, or whether it is making some loving connections with people in my life, or whether it's particular things turning the dial a little bit here and there on my work, what am I going to be happy with? And so look forward into the day at the end of the day and see yourself having done that. And here's where we get to the second thing. So number 2, the second most important question is, why do we want it? Why, for me, was it important to be physically strong and healthy? I knew that if I could visualize it for myself, if I could be physically strong and healthy, I would feel less stressed and I would feel more confident that no matter what came my way, I was going to be okay. Or I knew I'd be able to pick up my kids more. I'd be able to move more and feel stronger walking around and doing things. And it would just feel really good. So why this is important is the emotional center of our brain actually is the one that makes decisions. So you want to get in touch with your why. You want to get in touch with how it's going to make you feel. What's going to change in your life if you move to your what. Now, we can boil that down as a larger scope for your life, and we can also boil it down to the day. So you know why it's important in your life. So why is it important in your day that you get the outcome that you're looking for? Because you know at the end of the day, if you do the things that are important to you and aligned to you, it's going to feel so good. or you're gonna get the affection of the person that's loving to you. You're gonna make an impact on this person's life and make them smile. Whatever you're moving towards, or you're going to feel more secure financially, or whatever it might be, depending on what it is for you for that day. And it might, again, be multiple things. So again, you're asking yourself why, and as you're visualizing it at the end of the day, you're noticing how you feel. And why that's important, again, is you're connecting with the emotional center of your brain to be able to drive the motivation and the energy to do that and move that in that direction. Now, here's what I do as an extra thing, is then I take it out in my calendar and I start putting these things in my calendar. And I don't just say, I'm going to do this thing, but I also click on it in the notes. I answer why. And why is this important to me to do? So what's it going to give me? So even in my exercise for me, and we'll get to what that looks like for me as far as like how I was able to create real consistency with it, I answer the why. Okay. So the next thing that we get to is, okay, so I know what I want and I know why I want it. I'm feeling pretty maybe energized around it. And now the question is, all right, so how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? What's the steps? What's the program I'm taking right now? Am I following something out of a book? Am I following something somebody said in a podcast? Is there an actual program that I'm doing that I want to make progress in? And so how am I going to do it? What are the steps I'm going to do? So if I'm just going to, if I'm exercising, maybe it's just, I'm putting my sneakers next to my bed so that when I wake up, I'm going to be reminded to just get up and go out on a walk. Or I'm putting my cushion next to my bed so I'm reminded to go sit and meditate. Or it could be, what's my plan here? What's the structure? What's it going to look like? I have a meeting with my CPA or my bookkeeper or someone to do financial planning, or I'm talking with a few different people within my business to get a better idea on how to make progress around X. What is going to help me move the needle in this direction? How am I going to do it? What are my steps? If we don't have preparation and a plan or an idea on what we're going to do, it's going to make it hard because the ambivalence or uncertainty around it, and you've experienced this many times, as have I, leads to just getting distracted or something going down the road most traveled. So that's the how. Now, the final question, number 4, that it's to me is an absolute clincher, is who can support me? So we don't, the whole idea of pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps and doing all of this on our own is total BS. We are social animals. We're meant to be in a tribe, and it's easier as we do things together. In fact, we're totally influenced by groupthink. We're influenced by what people are doing and the way we're thinking around us. We know this. The science is very clear around this, the power of social influence. And so having like a buddy or a mentor, someone that's going to support me in doing this, is actually quite important. And so who am I surrounding myself with that can serve as an inspiration or a support in doing this? If it's exercise, you might get a buddy or a physical trainer. For me, and I know that's a privileged place to be too, to be able to have something like that, or go to a gym where there's other people around. But just a buddy costs nothing. And so for me, I knew that I needed to, I work well with mentors and coaches and things like that. And so I knew that if I had an appointment with someone, I'm going to be way more likely to do this type of physical training that I do. If I have a friend that I make an appointment with that's a walking appointment, I'm more likely to actually get there and do that. So who is going to support me? So think about who in your sphere is someone who wants to live or do the things that you're wanting to do more specifically, in that, maybe in just that domain. Could be the financial thing, or it could be a relationship, could be health, physical health or mental health. Again, a mentor or a buddy. I know that this was a big underpinning behind my Uncover the Power Within program, is me understanding that regular mentorship and real community is something that totally turns the dial on someone doing an effective program. There's lots of effective programs out there. I mean, there's millions and millions of books, and they have a lot of credibility behind them. Problem is, most people don't finish them, or they buy an online course and don't finish it. And the reality is, it's because we don't have the social influence happening. That's so powerful. One of the most powerful aspects of being able to continue motivation around anything you're wanting to do with change. So think about Again, who can support me? So that's number 4. Also, the final thing that's important is you're going to be imperfect at this. Don't expect to be a master at this. Expect to forget about it at times and make mistakes. Continue to come back to this video if you need to be reminded. And if you do this with some level of consistency and you hit the what, why, how, and who, I'm telling you, you're going to get into a better place. And if you're already in a better place, you're going to even make more progress and flourish. And so make sure that you're actually taking the time to do that. The final thing is, as you're imperfect at it, as you stray at times and don't do it diligently like you're wanting to, you want to practice 3 things. You want to practice this thing called forgive, investigate, and invite. Forgive, investigate, and invite means that we forgive ourselves for the time gone by. That's the past. We can't fix that. We investigate, though, what took us off track. How come I had this intention to go to exercise yesterday or at the end of the day, you said earlier today, and that didn't happen? Or how come I had this intention of creating more sweetness in my relationship and that didn't happen? Or how come I had this intention of getting these things done at work and that didn't happen? So we do it with a sense of curiosity. And we investigate that, and then we invite ourselves to begin again. All right, I'm going to do this again tomorrow. I'm aware of these obstacles now, and now I'm going to invite myself to begin again with an adjusted what, why, how, and who. And that's how we start to make progress. We bring that learning mindset, that beginner's mindset, and that's how we start moving towards mastery. Now, if you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed and want to go from that place to a place where you feel like you've regained control over your mind and your life, so you can focus more on what matters and ultimately enjoy life more, click on the link in the description below to the world's first mental health accelerator program called Uncover the Power Within. Ultimately, like anything else, when you surround yourself with the right mentorship and access to regular mentorship and a kicking community that's going to encourage, inspire, and support you all along the way, we really start to become more effective at the changes we want to make in our lives. This lesson was valuable for you. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to like it. What that does is that tells YouTube, like, hey, this thing might have some worthwhile information for people and shows it to people more. So please go ahead and like it, and again, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to leave some of my favorite videos on the next screen for you to enjoy. Look forward to seeing you next time.